YouTube, what is going on? Another one. Got another great video for you guys. I don't know what to say about this guy, but he is definitely somebody that hits the community at a positive level. So I don't want to get into it too much. I want you guys to enjoy the video. But before we jump into it and you guys enjoy it, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button and just enjoy this video, man. It's really awesome. Let's get that intro going and let's get it. Hey YouTube, how you guys doing today? Got another great video for you guys. I got a special guest with me. His name is Milen, leader of the 30 Below training workouts. Milen, how you doing today?
I'm doing all right. How about yourself, George?
Pretty good. You know, just working out here another day.
Yeah.
So I just want people to get to meet you. I know you're a busy guy. You do a lot of basketball training out in Tennessee, right? Correct?
I'm
Tennessee?
Tennessee, correct.
Tennessee, awesome. Yeah, so I just want people to get to know you and just quick introduction about yourself.
My name is Milen Brown Jr. I am the CEO of 30 Below LLC. Here we just mentor through the game of basketball. We put on clinics and training camps and stuff like that. I do one-on-one sessions. And right now I'm just trying to get myself into the community more, as far as like I'm hosting a free session. And what that looks like is we're going to call it On the House. And that's going to be one free training day per week. It's going to be on Thursdays, where pretty much the first 15 people that sign up get to come into this 1 hour, 2 hour free session and get knowledge about the game of basketball. I'm going to mentor them. Also tell them a lot of great things about how to get to wherever they're trying to go, versus whether it's college, professional, whether it's out in the working field, whether it's them trying to be an entrepreneur. Also, I'm trying to get them to also understand that basketball is just a tool to get you to where you need to go.
That's dope. That's awesome. So speaking about that, let's start from your early age. Who was that person for you that introduced basketball to you, and what made you fall in love with basketball?
Man, my step pops, my father, Rodney Rock Johnson, he passed away, God rest his soul, in 2007. But we moved to Detroit when I was 2 from Springfield, Missouri, and he put me inside of this program called Reach. And what it was is just you go every Saturday and you play. What do we do? We pretty much just scrimmage the whole time. And they taught us about the game of basketball, gave us little insights on pick and rolls and how to dribble between traffic and stuff like that. It was a great mentoring session for us on Saturdays. Got to eat hot dogs and got to get free haircuts and stuff like that. So just by my dad just throwing me in there with the Wolves, man, like I said, I never dribbled a basketball until I was about 6 or 7. And when I touched the rock, man, I just instantly fell in love. I was a natural at it. And yeah, man, I just found myself every Saturday at this Reach program. Virgil Phillips is the guy who hosted it. But yeah, man, I just fell in love. This was back in like 93, 94.
Gotcha. So you fell in love with basketball. Like, so what started making you feel that drive and like, I want to take this further into possibly my future?
I feel like when it was ripped away from me when I first started playing basketball. So I first started playing basketball around 6, 7. We moved away from Detroit when I was 11. And I felt like I was just now getting into the groove of really learning the game of basketball. And also really just trying to like to find an edge for it and just in my everyday life. We used to play out in the street till the street lights come on, man. I'm talking about my cousins in the back alley. Wherever we found the basketball goal, we used to put up the crate on the tree, man, and play that way. And again, man, just being around it, man, I just grew hungry for it and just grew a natural ability to be able to dribble the basketball. Back in the 90s, we didn't have a trainer, you know, like myself or like just anybody, 94 feet a game. There's a lot of guys out here that's training basketball.
Mm-hmm.
But we didn't have those growing up, and I feel like those would have been nice. Like again, we had mentoring sessions, we had um, youth reach program sessions on Saturdays, like I said, but it was never
Mm-hmm.
to the extent of where a trainer in today's time will break down the game from A to B, A to Z. You know what I mean? So again, we didn't get that full insight. We just got a little bit of um, I guess a little bit of the hunger from the older guys trying to live through the younger guys. I feel like that's what we got.
Yeah.
It was more so like you do this, you do that, you'll get here and you'll get there. But it was never like, oh, let me show you how to actually get the rock. Let me show you how to pivot. Let me show you how to use the jab. You know what I'm saying? It was like I said, it just threw us in there and just whoever was naturally good was just
Mm-hmm.
naturally good, man. And you got to see it
Yeah.
that way. You didn't see a guy who was terrible one summer, then come back a whole nother summer, like busting tail. You know what I mean? We just got to see people just
Mm-hmm.
progressively over time just get better and better just by hooping and just by
Yeah.
playing open gym and playing 21 and bucket and all
Mm-hmm.
those things, man. And again, man, back in the 90s in Detroit, bro, like that's all you did was play basketball or you played football or you played video games or again, your mom pushes you outside into the streetlights come on. It's not like today where the guys get to just sit in there and just be on the game all day. You know what I mean? It
For
was not
sure.
like that. We were
Mm-hmm.
outside playing basketball. We were outside getting sweaty. We were outside drinking water from a faucet. You know what I mean? Or drinking water from the water
Yeah.
hose when we're tired,
For
like
sure.
not wanting to go inside. You know what I mean? When
Mm-hmm.
mommy says come inside, oh, we get mad. But now in today's time, it's like, oh, if mommy tell me to go outside, then I'm angry. I want to stay inside all day. And I just see
For
the lack
sure.
of hunger in kids when it comes to just overall in general sports, but just in just
Mm.
everyday life. Like everybody just addicted to a computer.
Yeah, and that's definitely like I can attest to that. Kids now have it easier and luxuries of having trainers and facilities everywhere.
Yeah,
Literally any place you turn, especially in the new world of social media.
correct,
Everybody's just Instagram or DM or a quick message away to get in contact with
correct.
somebody. As for when we were growing up, it was a little bit harder. You actually had to go outside yourself and train, dribble, shoot, just train yourself, and you're basically your own motivation to getting
Absolutely.
better.
You go try the moves
So,
that you seen on TV by yourself.
it,
You don't
exactly.
get the
Hmm.
luxury of somebody teaching you that exact same Euro step or that exact same hop
Exactly.
step. No, you finna go outside and we finna try that over and over and over until we get it. And if we
Hmm.
don't get it, then we
Exactly.
ain't got it.
Yeah, you see Kobe, you see Michael, you see whoever on
Yeah,
TV do that little fadeaway, and you're like, oh, that's dope. I'm going to go outside and try it myself until
absolutely.
I get it right.
Absolutely.
That was training back in the day.
Absolutely. And just being creative with the basketball.
Exactly.
So
So let's jump into your high school time. Talk to us a little bit about your high school, what it was like from your freshman year, as you saw yourself progress all the way to your senior year, and then if you got it, like when did you start getting looks for college? If you got the chance to play college.
okay. So man, my going into my freshman year, I felt like I was better than what the coaches were sitting me at. So what I mean by that is
Mm-hmm.
I came in playing against guys that came to my high school that I was playing against in the middle school that were playing JV above me. But I'm
Mm-hmm.
killing these guys in middle school. But we get to high school and these guys get a chance to get to JV just right away. And I started thinking
Yeah.
like, dang, like why is that? And I never understood it as
Mm-hmm.
a kid. So it used to motivate me to just get in the gym and want to be better and better and better. Fast forward to
Mm-hmm.
my sophomore year, we get a brand new coach. That old coach that
Mm-hmm.
tried to sit me down with the freshman. He made me play freshman. After I got done with the
Mm-hmm.
freshman season, I got to play JV a little bit, and then when the JV
Mm-hmm.
season was done, I got to sit varsity. So it was like
Mm-hmm.
that didn't make sense. But I never got to actually get on the court and play varsity my freshman year, or barely
Gotcha.
sniff JV my freshman year.
Mm-hmm.
So boom, we get a brand new coach, Bill Brown from Minnesota Gophers. This is a Division One coach comes inside, and he literally changes the whole program around. So those guys that were playing above me are now
Mm-hmm.
playing below me as a sophomore.
Yeah.
So now
Mm-hmm.
it goes from me just playing freshman ball and barely scraping JV my freshman year to me just going
Mm-hmm.
straight starting varsity my sophomore year because I
Yeah.
got a real, I had got a what I thought was a real coach that seen the talent that I had right away, and I thought he was going
Mm-hmm.
to use me accordingly. But no, buddy, that wasn't the case. So
Mm-hmm.
my sophomore year, I go averaging like 9 to 10 points per game. I'm the most consistent guy on the court. Period. Point blank. Go to
Mm-hmm.
my junior year, I have a breakout junior year. Like I'm averaging, like I'm going bananas. I'm having 39-point games. I'm having 32. I had a 39-point game. It was crazy because when he showed me how to uh, pretty much use my body, my back towards the basket,
Mm-hmm.
and actually how to put somebody on my butt. Oh, them little guards. I was already a heavy guard anyway. Them little guards was in trouble.
Uh-huh.
So I was putting them on the post the whole time. But what I realized my junior year was my coach was also trying to groom this other freshman that just came in named Charles Frazier, trying to groom him and try to move him up as well as fast as
Mm-hmm.
possible. So he got to play
Yeah.
varsity his freshman year. Like pretty much, he played maybe I want to say like 6, 7 games JV. He was averaging like 35, 34 on JV.
Oh
So he
wow.
had to move him up right
Uh-huh.
away.
Yeah.
So mind you, he's on like that's my dog. Like he's on the court with me. We're busting tail.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I get to my senior year, and what I'm starting to realize every time I put up a shot, this coach over here is getting mad. Oh, what are you doing? Why are you shooting that? That's not in the offense. But the shot is
Mm-hmm.
going in though. Like I'm shooting,
Mm-hmm.
I'm shooting from Steph Curry range before Steph Curry was shooting from Steph Curry range, and that's no lie. If
Gotcha.
you talk to anybody from my
Uh-huh.
high school years, they'll tell you that Milen was shooting that thing out by the half court line. And so what
Mm-hmm.
I was realizing, he was taking me out the game, even though I had made the shot, and he was sitting me down. He's like, "That's not the shot that I want." But I'm like, I'm making it consistently, and I'm not. I'm like
Yeah.
really butting heads with this guy, like butting heads. I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
man, this don't make sense. Like you're literally taking me out, and I'm making shots inside of your offense
Yeah.
and creating my own shot that you don't like for whatever reason. And I'm like, bro,
Mm-hmm.
like stop sticking me down here. And my parents are getting mad, my dad is getting mad, and he's like, just try to play through it. And so again, I went through all of that throughout my high school career to where I went from being pretty much at the bottom to going to the top from sophomore year to senior year, but also being I guess he was trying to humble me in a way. I'm not sure.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because my junior year, I was going to transfer to play homeschool basketball, and he had got whiff of it with
Mm-hmm.
the actual homeschool coach, and the one of
Okay.
the dads that came up to the school to try to get my transcripts so they can see if I can actually transfer out to go to homeschool because my cousin was getting
Mm-hmm.
recruited by Duquesne, and that's a Division I school.
Okay.
So I'm like, okay, I'll play with this guy every summer. I don't have
Mm-hmm.
any letters. I don't have any letters at this point in my junior year. I don't have, but I'm on a magazine. I'm ranked in the state. I'm in the newspaper every other weekend. You know what I mean? Stuff like
That's
that. Like
great.
I
And
got
you wasn't getting no letters after all that?
none,
Nothing?
bro. I'm talking about not a one. Like the coaches that was coming to the game was always talking to just random guys that really wasn't putting in work. So my junior year, I had this senior who was getting looked at by all of these JUCOs, but he's not putting up the numbers that I'm putting up. And so, like every
Yeah.
time a college coach is talking to him after the game, I'm going up to my coach like, "Hey, what's up? When am I going to talk to a coach?" He's like,
Mm-hmm.
"Oh, well, they think that you're going to go high Division I. They think you're going to go high Division II, so they don't even want to talk to you." That doesn't
Mm-hmm.
even make sense. I said,
It doesn't.
if I'm a talent, they should want to talk to everybody and try to recruit the most, exclusive talent or whatever you want to call it back then. Like,
Yeah.
and so,
Exactly. Because they never know if you want to do it or take an extra year or two to just keep developing your game
bro,
to move up to that D1. So.
bro, so take you back. Like I said, my junior year, the dad comes up to the school to try to get my transcripts, and he meets my high school coach in the hallway. I'll never forget this, bro. Like my brother was there.
Mm-hmm.
My high school coach broke down. Like, oh, you can't take him away from here. What are you doing? And he's like, well, you're not even using him correctly. Like, he wants to
Mm-hmm.
go play basketball. He wants to get recruited. He wants to get letters. Like, I got that all set
Mm-hmm.
up for him. And it
Yeah.
almost sound like a movie right now because that's pretty much what it was. Like he was literally trying to get my transcripts. My high school coach didn't want me to go nowhere. He literally broke down into tears, like, please don't leave and don't go to homeschool. I'm gonna need you
That's
next year.
wild.
So I stayed. I didn't pursue it. Fast forward back to
Mm.
back to my senior year, bro. He's taking me out. He's doing all these things, and I'm like, bro, I don't even have no letters. Like, where's my letters at? Like,
Mm-hmm.
again, I'm literally signing autographs after games. Like, people think that like I'm finna go somewhere, and this is
Yeah, for
no
sure.
cap, bro. Like, people are like, oh man, you finna go high division one, you finna go this, you finna go that, man, you finna be amazing. And this is just my
Mm-hmm.
junior year. So my junior year, I started signing autographs all the way to my senior year. And I'm looking at this coach like, man, I don't have not one letter, but every time that one of these college coaches come in here, you got him talking to one of the people that look like you. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? So I
right.
started to
Mm-hmm.
catch on my senior year, like, oh, he's trying to get his homeboys on, the people that look like him. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
His skin color. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
dog, like it grew like just this fire in me, dog, going into my freshman year in college. Like, dang man, I really got played. So
Mm-hmm.
I didn't get a letter. I didn't get letters until till May of my senior year. I had a he had a box full of letters that were like interest, but he gave them to me like my senior year. So I'm like, I couldn't even
That's
apply for
wild.
all of these schools that are
Yeah.
sending you letters that I'm supposed to be not supposed to be getting recruited to, but ain't
Mm-hmm.
nobody talking to me. But I see people walking in and up out of here, and nobody said nothing to me, man. So
That's
what happened
crazy.
was I had to end up going to go try out for this school called State Fair Community College, and it's a JUCO.
Mm-hmm.
So I get up there, go to the tryout. He sends me up there with my center that we had on our team back then. Again, I love all them guys, man, but another guy that looked like him, he sent him up there with me to try out at his JUCO. And this JUCO coach is looking at me pretty much as like laughing, why aren't you getting recruited again? Like why aren't you getting no letters?
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm telling you, when I went up there with a chip on my shoulder, like, oh, he really trying to play me. Like I ain't got game like that. Like
Yeah.
again, I don't have not one offer letter, not nothing. This is May of 2005 when I'm about to graduate. Like I should have
Mm-hmm.
something.
For sure. Yeah.
I get up there, bro. I'm busting, cashing out.
Mm-hmm.
So the coach didn't say no. He just looking at me crazy the whole time. Like, man, I can't believe that. Like, you're in my gym and you're about to like you're unsigned. Like, I just can't believe it.
Mm-hmm.
So
For
I go
sure.
back home. The next day, I'm in tech class, bro. This is my shit. I'll never forget this again. I'm in tech class. I got my cell phone on me. I get a ring. It's an unavailable number. I don't never get no unavailable numbers to my phone call to my cell
Mm-hmm.
at that time. So I asked my teacher, "Hey man, can I go to the bathroom real quick?" Go to the bathroom. The phone ring again. Answer the
Mm-hmm.
phone. It's Dale Kimlin on there like, hey man, I want to offer you the scholarship right now. This is literally 24 hours after I done left the gym. So
That's
you
crazy.
say pretty much like, I want to sign you this week. I'll be up to your school. You can have a signing. I'll bring up my,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I'm saying, my people, and I'll get in contact with your coach.
Mm-hmm.
And I signed my freshman year to State Free Community College, man. And
That's dope.
again, bro, like I'm thinking like, dang, like my whole high school career just like almost went down the drain because I felt like I had a coach that wasn't trying to put me in a position to win, bro.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's what sucks and is unfortunate because it happened to you, but it's also a story that happens to a lot of other players out there that coaches always have their favorites or their like the players they want to see succeed, and then they
Man,
have their players on their bench that are
man,
like, whatever. They're just spot fillers, basically. Even though the spot fillers got game and should be on the court
bro,
because they know they can get you the buckets that you need.
that's a fact. That's a fact. But again, like I
Mm-hmm.
said, bro, I started from my sophomore year to my like I never set out a game other than the game that I had got into with
Mm-hmm.
one of the guys on the bus, and my coach kicked me off of the bus. And I'm like, dang, I'm the leading scorer. You gonna kick me off of the bus? He like,
Yeah.
well, he said that you said such and such. And I'm like, okay, cool. Y'all go up there, y'all go try to win without me. That's exactly my mindset at the time. Like it was district play, and I'm like, dang, this is the
Mm-hmm.
first game of district. You gonna kick me off the bus? And he's
Mm-hmm.
like, yeah, you gotta get off my bus. All right, cool. I hope
That's
y'all lose. Peace out. So
that's
then
wild.
the next day they end up winning that night. The next day he like, okay, you
Mm-hmm.
can come, you can go to the next game. I'm like, cool. I said, so what's the stipulation? Are you not gonna start? Okay, cool. I'm not gonna start. Man, I get in the
Mm-hmm.
game. I had 24. Like you didn't start me for the whole first quarter. So imagine if I was in the first quarter, and that
Yeah.
was districts, and that was the district championship. So and we lost by 1 point. We lost by
That's
one.
wild. That's wild.
It's crazy,
That's a crazy
bro.
story. Yeah. So now you're in college. You're at this school that obviously wants you because they saw you try out for the team and all that.
Correct.
So walk me through your process of college and how you stayed all 4 years, or did you?
Okay, so the JUCO that I went to, it's only you only can stay
Mhm,
for 2 years. I ended up getting
mhm.
booted my the first semester. I had ended up failing the class because I didn't pass the final. I'm not
Okay.
again. I didn't have the background to where I got parents that's telling me, hey, when you get to school, in these syllabuses, you need to really be paying attention to everything that's the details that's inside of them. Again, I
Mhm,
went through the whole semester having a B minus. So I'm thinking, okay, I come
mhm.
to the final. I'm like, okay, cool. I'm finna snooze through the final. At least I can get like a
Yeah.
D or a C. End up
Mhm.
getting a D minus. End up failing the class. You got to get a C. I'm like, that's crazy.
Oh,
I had
that's
a B
wild.
minus the whole year. You going so I had to
Mhm.
end up going home. Had to have that walk of shame. I had to go to this alternative school or not alternative school, this technical school called OTC to
Mhm.
build my credits up for the semester so I can transfer into wherever I can find. So what I
Yeah.
did was back my sophomore year in high school, my dad had took me to this Hoop Mountain Central. It was like a showcase my sophomore year. We went down there that summer. I went up and played up in front of a bunch of college coaches. I had to end up getting my own. Like I had a stack of my own stuff that I had off to the side from my
Mhm.
showcases, but I wanted offers and letters from my actual school and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Again, these are just interest letters. Here's a pamphlet. Here, take this. If you ever need something one day, hit me up. Pretty much
Mhm.
type thing. So again, when I got kicked out of there, I'm hitting up all these schools like, hey man, I just got booted. Can I come try out? Can I come do this? Can I come do that? So I
Yeah.
didn't have to go try out nowhere. The coach that actually see me playing the showcase believed in my game enough to let me come up to the school and actually sign me that next following. So I got kicked out. I didn't get, like I said, I got let go from school. I didn't get kicked out of school. I got let go from school. Pretty much lost my
Mhm.
scholarship because I failed the final. Um, go back home. Go to OTC for that semester. Go to summer school. End up
Mhm.
having to take another class, so I end up staying that semester. Then go to Kansas Western to the January of 2007. So I actually didn't get back in school until 2007.
Okay.
Um, and go up there, and it, it was the perfect situation for myself, man. Again, it was me getting back into basketball after a whole year
Mhm.
of just going to OTC, trying to get my credits right. I just wish back then, bro, I would have had the mindset or had somebody to tell me, like, be in the gym heavy. Like, watch what you
Mhm.
eat, watch what you're out here doing,
Yeah.
take care of your body. You know what I'm saying? So then I get to Kansas Western, I'm out of shape,
Mhm.
overweight. You know what I mean? So then the coaches get me back in shape. And then the following year, we end up getting a new coach. So the coach that I had when I got up there, I ended up leaving. Um, and I had a new coach. So my dad had ended up passing away that semester. So I was like, hey, man, he got this new coach that pretty much mimicked my high school coach. He had ended up bringing all his guys from the college that he was at and moved a bunch of
Mhm.
my guys that had ended up winning the conference championship out the previous year. So it was like, dang, like I'm in another situation to where
Yeah.
you want to see your kind win, which is good, but at the same time, at the end of the day, at that time, like on that team, that got those guys wasn't messing with us, man, like at all.
Mhm.
So, like I said, man, another one situation. I left and went transferred to a school called Bacon after my dad passed away. I got scared that another family member was gonna leave me, man. So I left
Mhm.
Kansas Western, found a school in Oklahoma, went there, transferred. My junior year it went straight.
Mhm.
Averaged about 10 points. Um, didn't really end up doing anything in the conference tournament or anything, but we knew that the next year that we had the momentum because we were playing teams and barely losing, barely, you know what I'm saying, losing by
Mhm.
like one, two, three, a game winner here and there and stuff like that. So my senior year, we went there and thrashed everybody during conference tournament. Ended up going to
Mhm.
nationals. That was big. It was cool. But yeah, after my freshman year, uh, everything was just my college career was just a blur. Like I had a good basketball career, but I was also battling so many other things back home and
For sure.
just the stresses of being in college, not having no money, seeing my friends go
Mhm.
out and got their parents sending them money and stuff like that. But I'm eating ramen noodles. You know what I'm saying? So making
Yeah,
sandwiches, and it was
I
just
know
tough
that
with me,
struggle.
dog. It
Hmm.
was just tough, man.
Yeah. So once you're done with college, I know you played overseas. So what was that process like? Because I know how you said usually people that, like for example, Division 1 players, they have overseas teams or NBA or whatever looking at the team
Hmm.
players. So how was the experience for you since you said you had an up and down college career?
Yeah,
What is the process of you trying to get overseas?
man. Again, at this time in 2010, I know nothing about overseas basketball.
Mm-hmm.
Um, all I know is about ABA basketball at this time, and I
Mm-hmm.
can remember a team called Texas Rim Rockers.
Mm-hmm.
They had came down and held a camp close to home in Arkansas. So I had went up there, met all the coaches and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
They told me, "Hey man, if you whenever you get out of college, if you want to play professional ball, hit us up."
Yeah.
I hit them up. They got a tryout in Dallas. So one of me and my guys that played on my basketball team, we rented a car, and I went to
Mm-hmm.
go. He drove with me up to Dallas from Oklahoma to go try out for the team. And I got up there, and when I get there, it's probably like 60, 70 players. I'm like, bro, like, how many
That's
people y'all
wild.
looking
Wow.
for?
Yeah.
Like, how many? Like, again, this is my first type of like professional combine or
Mm-hmm.
tryout camp or whatever you call it. So I
Mm-hmm.
get up there. I end up making the team. We end up signing the contract probably like a week and a half later. I'm all in the
Mm-hmm.
school newspaper. They come up to the school and stuff like that. It was cool. Um, Played with them for about a year. Not even a year,
Mm-hmm.
probably about 6.5 months. I was back and forth
Mm-hmm.
playing with them. And that was a bad, horrible situation. Getting paid, not getting paid. Getting paid, not getting paid. Paid
Yeah.
$50 here, $60 here, no money here, no money there. You know what I mean? Stuff like
Mm-hmm.
that. Um,
Yeah.
so I met a guy named Benjamin Morales, and he was telling me about these camps that was going on up in Canada. And
Mm-hmm.
so after that season had ended, I go back home. I'm talking to Deandra, and I'm like, man, they think that I can go, go play basketball overseas, so like, or go play up in Canada. So I'm gonna go try it again. I'm
Mm-hmm.
just a hooper, bro. I just play basketball again. I'm not. I'm not out here in this world saying I'm gonna go to the NBA. I'm this, but I know what I can do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I feel like I'm pretty talented at what I do.
Mm-hmm.
Get up to Canada, up in Oshawa, make the team up there, play up there, run into another guy. He's like, hey man, I got a opportunity this summer coming up in the summer league over in France. I'm like, dang. I'm like, all these opportunities just coming back to back to back. So
Yeah.
then I get signed up to go to the France summer league, get over there and play. This is back in 2011 that I went over to It's
Mm-hmm.
called Limoges, France. Went over there and played for the whole summer. Played for not the whole summer. We played that summer league was about 5.5 or 4 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And again, man, went over there, balled out. I couldn't see when I got over there. I had a mild concussion from playing the previous week before, where I had got elbowed in the face, and
Oh
my
wow.
vision had went out. But I had thought when I got over there that just
Uh-huh.
being overseas for the first time, like the air, the atmosphere, I feel like I was losing my
Uh-huh.
vision in my left eye. So I'm like, dang, like it's crazy. I got this opportunity right in front of my face, and I literally can't see out of my left eye.
That's
So
crazy.
I go through the whole camp and go through the whole summer league playing. I do well. I average like almost 20 points a game. It was cool, man. Like
Mm-hmm.
being over there eating all the food. That's the first time I was introduced to lamb and goat cheese and stuff like that, bro. And
Uh-huh.
the sparkling water that they drink on the sidelines. I'm like, bro, like y'all drink this water over here, the sparkling water in the
What?
games. I'm like, man, this is crazy.
That's wild.
Man, I had my coaches just going outside smoking cigarettes at halftime, and it was like, bro, like, where am I at? I'm like
For
culture
real.
shock, bro. It was just a major culture shock. And again, that opportunity, I come back home. Oshawa starts back up. So
Mm-hmm.
again, we go back up there and play. That was cool. Then I get a call from Benjamin Morales again talking about he has his opportunity out in Memphis. So
Mm-hmm.
he bamboozles us out to Memphis. We get out there. There's nothing out there, bro. There's nothing out there but us. Like it was probably like
Yeah.
me and maybe I want to say like 7 other players that he told to fly into Memphis for an
Oh.
opportunity. And we paid this man. Everybody paid this man. And he came up with
Uh-huh.
this side story talking about his wife and his daughter was going through something back home to where this man literally took all the money and left. And we're sitting in the
That's
hotel
crazy.
talking to each other like, bro, this is crazy. Like this man really
That's
just made up
wild.
all this story, got all this money
Yeah.
because he charged. I think one player paid him like $1,000, and he was from
Oh
California.
hell.
And I'll never forget
Uh-huh.
him, bro. He was from California. He's like, man, I just paid this man $1,000, took everything away from me and my family. I think he had a fiance and a son at the time. He's like, man, I
Mm-hmm.
cleared out my bank account to come up here and try to for this opportunity. And I gave him $1,000 that he just left with.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm
That's
like,
wild.
dang, bro, that's crazy. So then fast forward, I run into him again about 7 months. He's like, hey man, I got this opportunity out in Charlotte. He's like, I'll pay for you to come out here.
Uh-huh.
And so I'm like, you gonna pay for me to come out here after you done jip all these people?
For real, yeah.
So then, like again, the young soul in me wanted to play
Mm-hmm.
basketball. I got up and I left, and I
Mm-hmm.
went down to Charlotte for the opportunity. Get down there, no opportunity, bro.
That's crazy.
He,
Twice in a row?
yeah, bro. He's telling us that we're gonna, meet with some of the Charlotte Bobcats, some of the G League, or some of the D League team at the time. He had
Mm-hmm.
a NYPBL league that he was gonna start. Like he was just running through all of these things that he wanted to start and wanted to run, and
Mm-hmm.
that he was gonna be the commissioner of and stuff like that. So again, he goes off, he takes the money. I'm stuck there again without these other players, and they're like, man, like, and I'm like, I kept it real with him then. I'm like, look, man, he's using me as a way to get y'all to get up here. Pretty
Mm-hmm.
much. Like, he's selling y'all that I'll play over in Canada, that, he can get y'all deals, because I ran into him in Dallas with the whole ABA team and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
Mm-hmm.
he's this guy, this hot shot, but he's really not. Like, he's just this guy that's just lying. And again, you think about how many people want to play basketball in the world, and it doesn't matter the age,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
So at the time, I'm like 22, 23. I'm running into guys that's like 28, 29, 30, 32,
Still,
like
still trying to make it,
still
yeah.
trying to make it. But again, these scammers out here will make it feel like you can actually make it
Mm-hmm.
without no college experience, without no college background, without no professional background. Like they literally put the battery in your head, like, oh, I can get you a deal. Like you can hoop. You just send me some film. They'll get the film
Yeah.
and they'll be like, oh man, this film is great. Come on over here. And to
Mm-hmm.
the point where it's like, you gonna pay me. And the guy's like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, cool. This can be my agent type thing. Like, cool. He's talking about he got an opportunity
Mm-hmm.
for me. Let me go ahead and shoot him some bread. Not the case, my friend. Not
Yeah,
the
and
case.
that's the thing. Some people don't understand the business side of
Correct.
basketball. It's not just because when people say business side of basketball, they automatically already think it's just NBA. But there's business side of basketball goes all around
Dog.
from
It's
high
crazy.
school, middle school, AAU, college, overseas, whatever. Business of basketball is everywhere. Unfortunately, there's the bad side of business of
Man.
basketball also.
And it's a side of business that will it'll drive you crazy because at the end it'll have you feeling like you're this guy, you know what I'm saying, that's going to make it. And it's like, no.
Mm-hmm.
So then
For
it goes
sure.
from that opportunity to me coming back home, trying to figure out things. I'm shooting out emails, I'm shooting out my film, and I'm getting calls, but it's not the calls that I want to get. You know what I mean? It's not the
Mm-hmm.
calls that's going to be like life changing. It's like, oh, come over to El Salvador and make two hundred
Mm-hmm.
dollars. You know what I'm saying? And we'll pay for your
Yeah.
flight and pay for all of this. And it's like, that's not no money, man. Like at that time, I'm looking for money. I'm not looking no more for the opportunity. Like I done been through all the ringers, and I done
Yeah.
been through all the shimmies and all the scams. Like at this point, I'm like focused on
Hmm.
like, no, like you're not gonna get me over
Hmm.
to a Qatar. You know what I'm saying? To jank me out and keep me in an apartment where I'm only making maybe $100. You're feeding me crazy food, and
Yeah.
I'm at a lower level team just because of the school that I went to. You know what I mean? Because it's like if you go
Mm-hmm.
to the NAI school, you move all the way down to the bottom of the ranks. They want a Division I player. It don't matter if the Division I player sat the bench, average 1 point, 2 points a game, 0 points a game. As long as you got that
Mm-hmm.
Division I stamp, they want you.
Yep. Just that title.
And it's just that title, bro. Like again, I had went to another camp
Mm-hmm.
out in Vegas and I had on some Arkansas shorts. I had a coach come up to me and was like, "Hey man, you played at Arkansas?" And I was like, "No, I just got these from my
Mm-hmm.
homie, dog." He's like, "Oh," and you can just tell that on his face, it was just like disappointment. Like, dang, I thought I was gonna talk to an Arkansas player. Got the body of an Arkansas player at the time, but it's like, nah,
Mm-hmm.
you didn't go play Arkansas, so it's like, no, I'm cool on you. Uh,
That's
so again, it's just one of them situations where you're going up and down to the point where you pretty much hit a jackpot to where you get to a place, you went over to France and filled in for a guy who ended up getting hurt.
mm-hmm.
Thought it was going to be the be all, end up staying for a minute, coming back home. Um, in 2015, I get an email from a guy over in Germany. At this point, my
Mm-hmm.
body's starting to break down. I'm at home. I haven't played I haven't played no type of organized basketball in almost a year and
Mm-hmm.
a half. So it's like, do I really want to take this opportunity? My back is hurting. I couldn't feel my feet at the time. Like I'm going through all those things in my body, and I'm like, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna
Yeah.
just take the opportunity. I get over there, and I make a fool of myself. I can't feel my feet, missing balls. I pretty much can't
Mm-hmm.
run fast because I feel like my feet are about to fall off. And again, I find out later that I got L4 and L5 sitting on my sciatic nerve. I couldn't put on
Oh wow.
socks, couldn't put on shoes. In that instance, I'm there. The coach is like, "Well, we're gonna have to let you go." Okay, cool. I appreciate the opportunity. I'm
Mm-hmm.
not mad at that point because I know that my time is starting to run out. You know what I mean? Again, I've had
Mm-hmm.
a good run. I've been at this for 6 years after college. Played, didn't play, played in the UBL, played in Canada, played in France. Got a little bit of opportunity in Germany. Shouldn't even have been there because at the end of the day, my feet are crazy. Again,
Mm-hmm.
in that mindset, I just want to hoop. So they let
Yeah.
me go. I get back to my apartment, a flat, what they call it. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm just sitting on the laptop and I'm like, dang, man, is basketball really over for me? Like, I feel like it's just coming to an end, bro. Like, and I have to swallow this pill because, again, I'm talented with this, but if you ain't got nothing from the waist down working, like, my legs ain't working how I want them to work, my feet ain't working, to the point now, I'm 35, about to be 36, and this is an everyday thing for me, like battling with the feeling in my feet and my legs, getting up, back, you know what I'm saying, hurting and stuff like that from the back surgery that
Mm-hmm.
I had at 28. It's like, man. But anyway, end up getting on the computer and checking my emails. I had an email from the coach at Magnaburg, literally right up the street from this where I was at, a place called Bywood.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, again, another opportunity, another email,
Yeah.
bro, another email.
Uh-huh.
And this guy seen us play because we had played in a place called it was close to Berlin. But anyway, I had
Mm-hmm.
went up there with the German team that I was with out in Bywood, and we played the team. I guess he seen me. I got to get out an email like, "Hey, I heard they did just let you go. Are you available to come up here?" So in my mind, I done told you I'm on my way home. Like, book the flight. Like, I'm finna come home.
Uh-huh.
Call her back. Like,
Yeah.
listen, look at this email. This guy wants me to come out. He's gonna pay for my train ticket, and he wants me to be there by tomorrow. So I'll pack
Mm-hmm.
up all my stuff, get on the train, get down there to Magdeburg, and played a few games. And then all of a sudden, here comes this big 6'11" guy, American. And
Mm-hmm.
there's a decision that has to be made because at that point you can only have one American on those lower level teams. You can't have two.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
I can't do nothing against 6'11". I'm all a bit of 6'1", 6'2". You need a power force. I'm just a shooter. You know what I'm saying? I'm a creator. But again,
Mm-hmm.
I can't even use my feet. You don't know that because I'm over here
Yeah.
trying to play well. Because at that point I'm
Uh.
like, okay, these feet are not about to stop me. I'm finna ice every day. I'm finna put these things
Mm-hmm.
in water and ice. My feet, my back, everything. I'm finna just ice it up. So every day I came to practice. Every day I came to a game. I'm numb. I'm numb.
That's
You
crazy.
know what I
That's
mean?
wild.
So
Yeah.
again, I get let go. I come back home. this is in 2016 now, and it's like, what do I do? What do I do?
Mm-hmm.
Now I have to have the back surgery that I've been putting off because I messed my
Mm-hmm.
back up. Go have the back
Yeah.
surgery. Thinking I'm finna kick back into basketball after the surgery, like, okay, my body should be working now. You know what I'm saying? Working. My feet were clear. After the surgery, like I felt fine. Man, the moment I got in the
Mm-hmm.
car to go train with one of my buddies out in Missouri, I had drove from
Mm-hmm.
Orlando. I get to Atlanta. I get into a car accident.
Oh
I
wow.
get I get hit from the back, like barely, like not even that hard, bro. Like it's like a traffic jam. And I got this big truck coming. He's not paying attention. He's not slowing down, and he like barely tasked my thing.
Mm-hmm.
2 days later, can't feel nothing from the waist down. So at that moment, I just knew that it was nobody but God trying to move me out of basketball. Like here I am, I'm trying to hold on to it
Mm-hmm.
because I got so much talent. I can
Yeah.
shoot so well. I can dribble so well. I can do this so well. I got good footwork. But he's pulling me away like, I got something else for you. So at 28, I was like, I just took a deep breath and I'm like, let it go, bro. God, you know what?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna try it your way. You've been trying to pull me away from basketball since age of 24. After I got out of college, you trying to pull me away, but I'm still fighting against the grain, getting on team just because I'm good.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I'm talented enough to make a team,
Mm-hmm.
but are you, God, are you going to allow me to stay on the team healthy enough to last that second and third month? Can I at least get
Yeah.
there? Fourth month, fifth month?
Mm-hmm.
And every time I went over there, the time just got shorter and shorter and shorter. And I just had, like I said, I
Mm-hmm.
realized, I took a deep breath, and I just kept praying for 2 years. Like, okay, God, what you want me to do? And for 2 years, I didn't have no answers. I didn't do anything but just work. I worked at a juvenile detention center. I had worked at AmeriCorps in Orlando, where I was mentoring
Mm-hmm.
kids and checking up on them every so often. And again, I'm just sitting here praying. Had my first daughter, and I'm like, bro, like, okay, so what's cracking? Like, okay, God, I've been praying. Man,
Mm-hmm.
at 30, I'm diagnosed with multiple sclerosis, and I'm like, so I'm finna die. That's what I feel like.
Oh wow.
I'm at the hospital and the
Man.
guy's like, "You got multiple sclerosis." And my hands had went out with a burning sensation. I had
Uh-huh.
literally just took a month off of playing basketball, and my hands felt like they're on fire. Sort of like how my feet had been feeling the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, "Dang, bro." And my bar, it took for my barber to be like, "Hey, man, you might want to get that checked out." Get to the hospital,
Mm-hmm.
do a CAT scan on my brain. Oh, I ended up in the hospital for 5 days with
That's
17, with
crazy.
almost 12 lesions on my brain.
That's
And I'm like,
crazy.
dang, like I got all this stuff going on in my body that I don't even know about. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm in the hospital for 5 days. Um, hooking me up to all these machines. My hands feel like they're about to explode. Um, like I said, man, I just got out of there and just continue to pray. Like, dang, like this is my life now. Now I have a disease to where I can't even get rid of. My fatigue level is down. And all of a sudden, I'm having all these issues in my body, and I
Mm-hmm.
didn't have no answers. And at the age of 30, man, I'm trying to figure it out. I hear something in my ear say start something for the youth. I didn't know what I was gonna call it at the time, but didn't know. I'm like start something
Mm-hmm.
for the youth. Like I don't want to go do nothing with no youth, man. Like I want to
Yeah.
hoop. I'm
For
sitting in the
real.
mindset like man, like dang, why can't I just do what I want to do? Like why my body won't just act right? You know what I'm saying? Like why won't God allow
Mm-hmm.
these things uh to happen in my life and overflow in my life that like how it's happening for everybody else that I'm playing against
Mm-hmm.
that tell me that they play these certain places. It's like, man, nah, come and take wherever you got going on. That's how I felt at the time because it's
For
like
real.
you're a
Mm-hmm.
hooper. So it's like if another hooper that come
Mm-hmm.
over and play against you that play overseas or play in the NBA or play in the D League, and you getting over on him or you getting off on him or you like I can
It
go
gives
play
yeah,
there.
it gives you
You
that
know what I'm
extra
saying?
thought, like it gives you that extra thought,
Exactly,
like maybe
bro.
I should can do this also, or oh, if he can
Man,
play out there, I can definitely play out there.
exactly.
Yeah, I know, I know that
So
feeling.
then, so like I said, at 30, I'm praying, praying, praying. Start something for the youth.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, okay, cool. I'm gonna call it 30. I'm gonna call it 30 below. I said I'm the age of 30, and I want to mentor everything below the age of 30. So I called it 30 below, and like
Mm-hmm.
ever since then, I felt like my cup has been full. Like, okay, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. This is what you want me to do, and I'm falling in love with the
Mm-hmm.
process of doing this. But it's still like growing pains with this because it's like, okay, I'm out here training all these kids. My body feeling okay now, Do I go back
Mm-hmm.
and try to? But I can't. You know what I'm saying? I'm in a dilemma where I gotta trust God. I gotta trust Him enough to be like, okay, even though basketball is over, you're always gonna be around the game of basketball. Just know that. That's what I'm gonna have you be
For
doing.
sure.
You're not gonna be playing.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna be more of an instructor. You can play every
Mm-hmm.
once in a while, open gym, but you're not gonna go play professionally no more. It's a wrap. It's a dub. It's over with. And
Mm-hmm.
to have to, like I said, to have to swallow that, that's a major pill to swallow. Even at 35, you know what I mean? Because again, I'm still out here
Yeah.
training these kids that are in high school. They can't mess with me. But at the same time, it's like, oh, like I still got something left in the tank. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But as far as
Yeah.
like trying to take it back to that route, bro, I'm fine where I'm at, man. And like I said, man, I love this process of helping the youth, uh, actually helping them get to where they want to go, setting their goals. And you tell me that you want to go play
Mm-hmm.
college basketball, that's all we finna work on. You know what I mean? You say you
And
want to go
that's
be a
gonna be that was
scientist?
gonna yeah that was gonna be like my follow up question
Go
because
ahead,
now
go
you're
ahead.
doing the training, you're doing the 30 below and all that. So what is that like now? Now you're doing that thing that you said you were missing when you were growing up, trying to play, be that
Mm-hmm.
trainer for them, that mentor. So what is that like and that feeling like, especially if you do see the players you're working with be successful and achieve the goals that they're trying to? How does it make you feel and that feeling that you're like, I was part of
Man,
that achievement of theirs?
it brings like again, like it brings tears in my eyes, honestly, because I run into myself all the time. I run into those kids that are
Mm-hmm.
helpless, man. That their
Mm-hmm.
coaches, their high school coaches, aren't putting in the work and the effort to get them to be seen. But then it's
Mm-hmm.
the dilemma of going to go play AAU basketball, thinking that you're going to be seen, but you're just playing a bunch of basketball games. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? You're not getting recruited just because you're going
Mm-hmm.
to go play AAU basketball. You're just going to go be seen on the weekends locally or locally somewhere
Mm-hmm.
else at somebody else's house, and you're just paying money.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? That's money over there.
Yeah.
Again, there's some kids that might get
Mm-hmm.
recruited going to the NYBL national camps out in Orlando, and you know what I'm saying, the AAU rankings and stuff like that. But
Mm-hmm.
for the average kid inside the average town that plays with the average AAU team locally, you're not being seen by nobody. Period. And so I feel like that's
Mm-hmm.
where my mentorship comes in, and I feel like that's where I can actually like get inside of their brain and be like, look, man, you're not getting recruited right now. Are you good enough to play basketball? And your coach is overlooking you. So let's get on the
Yeah.
court, see what you're about, see what you got. If I feel
Mm-hmm.
like that you got a little bit to work with to where we can actually hit up a college coach to get you signed, oh, it's a no brainer. But if you need work, I'm gonna say you need work, bro. Like it's sometimes it's not the coach, sometimes it's just the player who thinks that he's better than what he is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You run into that a lot
Mm-hmm.
too. So again, it fills my cup knowing that I am helping somebody that is in need that pretty much can't help themselves on the back end because they don't know the ins and out of basketball if they're not being taught by somebody inside of their circle or by their coaches. Like it has to come from somebody who has been through the ringer of basketball, been through the ranks of basketball, played against people in basketball that's played and went places in basketball to be able to tell a guy, hey man, you ain't got it or you got it. There's always a spot for somebody. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Stuff like that, man. And
Mm-hmm.
so I, I love it. I love it. I love what God has done for me and has done for my future going forward because again, like we get stuck on what we really want to do, but that's not
Mm-hmm.
always what pans out. That's going to last in the long run. Yeah, you can play basketball, but at some point you're gonna retire. So what are you gonna do after basketball? You know what I mean? Even if you retire at 40,
For sure.
what are you gonna do?
Mm-hmm.
You have to start over and
Mm-hmm.
have to find a niche. So like, would I rather start over at 40 or would I rather start over where I'm at now? I'd rather start over at 30, you know what I mean? To where I can actually
Yeah.
fulfill at least 20 years going forward to be able to be around the game of basketball in a different light and in a different way to make a kid smile. You know what I mean? So, again,
Yeah. For
I love
sure.
it, bro.
That's cool. And that's cool that you're doing that because that's why one of the reasons I wanted to have you on here because you're definitely one of those people that you've been through the trenches, you've been through the struggle, and now you have something successful, and you have the knowledge to pass on to
Correct.
the younger youth. So that's why, like I said,
Correct.
I wanted to have you on here to speak up on that and to see the people that do watch this video or this interview. They see like it's not always easy as they make it seem on the TV.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. For a fact. And again,
Mm-hmm.
you can be good, you can be great at basketball, but never have an opportunity at
Mm-hmm.
basketball. And that's what I'm starting to realize. Like, even though that you're great at something, don't mean that's for you. Don't mean that God
Exactly.
has that just for you. You know what I mean? Yeah, you can
Mm-hmm.
play with the best of them, but that's not for you. And I really had a hard time
Exactly.
trying to figure that out. Like, bro, like I'm fighting against this
Mm-hmm.
thing. Like, no, but I'm that guy. I can hoop. I can what you need. You know what I'm saying? But again, I'm
Mm-hmm.
fighting against the ways of the God, and God is just breaking me down physically and mentally. Like I've never had an injury during basketball my whole career until I'm over here
Mm-hmm.
fighting against the grain to get to pretty much fight God's way, or yeah, fight God's way and try to make it my own way, man. And it's like no, at some point God gonna shake you. It just depends on when He gonna shake you. And if it's not for you,
For
you just gotta
sure.
be okay with that, man. And at this point, at 35, about to be 36 next month, I'm okay with it, bro. I'm okay knowing that I can go to
Mm-hmm.
a gym right now and play with the best of them and come home and be like, what I'm doing tomorrow for 30 below. I love that feeling
Yeah.
now. But back in the day, whenever you're trying to pursue all these things, you're going to all these summer leagues and summer camps, and then you get on overseas for a couple months, 2, 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, and it's like the time starts to cut down. You just like, man, like, what's going on? Like, and you just have to figure out, like, hey, man, it's not for you. Like, you can be as great as you want to be.
Mm-hmm.
There's great
For
singers
sure.
that'll never get, you know what I'm saying,
Mm-hmm.
see the limelight of being famous. Cause God ain't
Yeah.
got that for you, bro. And it's again, bro. Like the more I have to, the more I understand that, the more I can breathe at night, and the more I can like go to sleep peaceful. Like, okay, I feel like I had a successful basketball career overall. I got a lot of stamps in my
Mm-hmm.
passport. I'm in the Hall of Fame of Kansas Western University. Like, I won the 2010 championship, first ever in history at Baycone. And again, like I am just one of them guys who's just been everywhere. I've been all over. I've been all over the world at this point. You know what I mean? So it's like
Mm-hmm.
I don't have nothing to complain about. And if I did,
Exactly.
I would
Yeah.
be. I don't. I feel like I would be ungrateful. Like not
Mm-hmm.
really looking at the beauty of where I've been and just being stuck. Like, oh
Mm-hmm.
man, like I didn't get to retire on my own, or I didn't get to finish out how I wanted. I can't even look at it like that, bro. I got to look at the beauty of like where I've been. I've been to France. I've been to Germany. I've been to places in Germany that like I never thought I would be. I've been to places in France that I never thought I would be. I never thought I would go to Canada. You know what I mean? Places like
Yeah.
that. Like I've never thought I would be these places, but through this journey of basketball, it's led me down these different routes all over Europe, France, Canada, United States. I played some here in the UBL, and it's like grateful, Joe. I mean, George, bro. I'm grateful, man.
Yeah. That's cool. And I know I always say that basketball is a beautiful game, but then it also can be a very mean game.
For a fact,
So
it'll
it
slap
always
you quick.
it'll show you great things. It'll take you places. It's
Mm-hmm.
crazy what a ball can do for you. But
Mm-hmm.
again, it can also do some hurtful stuff for you
Man,
if
and
you
it'll
don't.
have you feeling like it'll put you in a place where it makes you feel like you're way beneath where you're supposed to be at, bro. Like it'll literally humble you to the point where like, okay, dang man, there's so many levels to basketball, man. Like it's athleticism, it's where you go, it's politics, it's where you're ranked, it's who you play for, it's who you know, who you related to.
Mm,
Like it's so much that goes into the game of basketball to the point where it's like, dog, if you don't have nobody that's connected to basketball in the NBA, D League, G League, overseas, you gotta be just go. You gotta just be a one of a kind athlete, raw
exactly.
dog,
Mhm.
and you gotta be a monster. You're averaging some points, averaging some rebounds, something. You gotta be doing something great. One thing great. And if you're not doing that, man, it's
Exactly.
like all these guys that got, brothers in the NBA, got cousins in the NBA, sons in the NBA, fathers that used to be in the NBA. Like you're fighting and competing with a lot. Once you start to realize that, you'll start to breathe, bro. Like dang, like
Mhm.
it's everybody and their mama and daddy want to hoop, man, and it's just like those 1%ers. Like, are you
Facts.
gonna be that 1%? Because to be in that one
Mhm.
percent, you're gonna have to be a Division 1 player. You're gonna have to be in the March Madness. You're gonna have to bring something, man. And if you're not that,
Exactly. Yeah.
you got to get in the gym and just grind it out, man, and find different opportunities and start to learn people and start to ask questions and start to dive into the minds of your peers and mentors, the people that play basketball. Because I thought that just by knowing somebody overseas or knowing somebody in the NBA or knowing somebody in the D League, oh man, give
Hmm.
me a shot. And it's like, no, it's really not like that, bro. Like I used to get
Facts.
mad, like,
Hmm.
man, you can't give me a and it's like when I got there myself, and then people started hitting me up. I feel like I felt the pressure. It's like, bro, it's really not like that. I can't get you a deal. I can't get you an agent. I can't get my agent to sign you just because I know you. I had an NBA agent at one time. And it's like I really thought I was, in the door. Yeah, right, bro. Like
Yeah.
again, it's about
Hmm.
your background. It's about what school you went to. It's about where you played, what leagues you played in, what credible
Hmm.
highlights do you have? You know what I mean? What credible people in your corner that played basketball before that knows these guys that's gonna speak up for you? Like,
Yeah.
whoo, it's just so much, man. It's just
Hmm.
like it'll make you go to
And that,
sleep,
like how I
man.
said, yeah, that's how I said it. It's always basketball always falls back to it's a business and who you know. That's how
Man,
it is.
always point blank period,
Always. Hmm.
point blank.
So, last question I got for you before we get out of here. What I like to do is everybody that I interview has a different backstory, like how you gave yours to ours. Other people have given ours. What's a piece of advice you would give a player that is trying to make it? What would you tell them? Like, what do you tell your players?
I tell my players, confidence is gonna be key in everything. If you're trying to
Mm-hmm.
make, you got to be confident. You got to do something or do some things great. You can't just be good. You can't just be average. You got to get in here. You got to
Mm-hmm.
work on different techniques that's going to separate you from that guy and that guy and
Mm-hmm.
that guy over there, bro. Like you just got
Yeah.
to have the overall arsenal inside of your bag to be ready for war at any given moment on the court. Period. Like at the
Mm-hmm.
end of the day,
For
anybody
sure.
can have your number. You can be out of shape, but you can be great 3 point shooter. You can be out of shape and be a great dunker. You know what I'm saying? But if a guy comes in that's more in shape than you, he's always going to stick out more than you because he's working harder than you. He looks better than you. He's faster than you. He's more crispy than you on his moves. And so I just tell him to
Mm-hmm.
stay in shape and make sure that your overall confidence level in anything that you do and that you practice is high. And that's what I can. That's the only thing I can give to you, man. Confidence is key in everything. If you're confident enough to take that shot, you'll make it 9 times out of 10.
For sure. Appreciate that again. I appreciate for you taking your time and joining me on here and
For a
sharing your
fact.
story. You definitely opened my eyes to a lot because I know you're a great heart, but I did. It's good to see more about you.
Man,
That's awesome, and
man, I appreciate it, man. And like I said, man, whatever you need from me, I like what you're doing. I love what you're doing, man. Keep at it, bro. Whatever you need from me, you already know I'm in your corner to do whatever, bro. It may not always be the time,
appreciate that.
but I'm gonna get to you. I promise you.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. And again, everybody, I appreciate you guys for watching, taking the time out of your days, and checking out my channel. Like I always say, let's grow together. Let's be great. If you guys can, go ahead and hit that like button, that subscribe button, and catch you guys on the next video. Got great, great content coming out soon. Peace out,
Uh,
everybody. And again, thank you, Milen.
Thank you.